A mild-mannered man working at a one-hour photo lab becomes disturbingly attached to a family whose photos he has been developing for years. Robin Williams is inarguably one of the most talented and brightest stars of the past 50 years. He started out doing avant-garde, over-the-top, zany, seemingly stream-of-consciousness comedy, and then he stumbled into a role and became one of the biggest sitcom stars of the 1970s and 1980s by playing Mork in Mork and Mindy. From there, he transitioned into films, where he delivered iconic performances in both hilarious, over-the-top roles like Aladdin and Mrs. Doubtfire, and deeply emotional, serious roles like Dead Poet Society and Good Will Hunting. And Williams had many great performances in films that just not enough people have seen, like The Fisher King, The World According to Garp, and World's Greatest Dad. But until One Hour Photo, he had never really played a villain. In One Hour Photo, Williams shines as a quiet, introverted stalker. It's hard to imagine this beloved comedian, the voice of the genie in Aladdin, or the warm Mrs. Doubtfire, portraying someone so reserved and unsettling. In my opinion, Robin Williams is one of the best actors of all time, capable of delivering convincing performances in any genre. As for the movie itself, One Hour Photo is good, but I wouldn't call it great. It feels very much like an early 2000s horror movie. I can't quite put my finger on why or what even exactly that means, but anyone familiar with horror films from that decade will probably understand what I'm talking about. The family being stalked does a fine job, but they are all overshadowed by Williams' stellar performance. The store where he works has a very clean, sterile, and boring atmosphere, much like a Walmart, but way cleaner than a Walmart. Williams' boss is played by Gary Cole, and his performance feels much like a rehash of his famous role as Bill Lumbergh in Office Space. Ultimately, though, the only reason to watch this movie, the only reason it's remembered at all, is because of Robin Williams' performance. One Hour Photo makes excellent use of photographs, and for the first time that I can remember ever, it doesn't feel like every picture in this movie is just a bad Photoshop job. The photos all look and feel like they're actual photos, which adds a layer of realism to the story. The film also features small roles from actors who went on to bigger things, like a pre-Community Jim Rash, who played the Dean, and a pre-Blackish Peter McKenzie, who played Mr. Stevens. Robin Williams delivers a few pretty powerful monologues and gives the movie some much-needed depth, and these moments are going to make you think. While One Hour Photo isn't going to be an all-time classic, it did cement Robin Williams as one of the all-time acting greats by showing his acting chops as a villain. Examining film negatives, having a photo wall in your house, snapping a selfie before selfies were a thing, taking a break in the bedding department, Toyota Echoes, very well organized stores,